Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mamapreneur Podcast. I am Robin, your amazingly fabulous hostess with the mostest. Happy Friday, and thank you so much for being here with us today. Whether you're watching me live or watching me via replay, thank you so much for being here with us today. And you guys are in for an amazing treat. If you're watching me today live, I get to interview six amazing women, business owners all over the country, all do different things. And we are all a part of an amazing community. And these ladies got to pitch their business to me to be a part of the podcast and getting that promotion and visibility. And of course, I had to tell them, yeah, you chose me. Yes, you can come onto the show and talk about your brand. And hey, you just never know who is your audience, who's in the building, who may need her services. And so you guys are in for a treat because she has an interesting story, and I cannot wait for her to tell you all about her story. So, for those who may not know me, my name is Robin, hostess of the Mamapreneur Podcast. I've been hosting this show for a little over 5 years, being able to spotlight women-owned businesses from all over the world, giving them global exposure for their brands while building community at the same time. We have all these businesses, accolades, and all the things, but none of that works if you don't have relationships and community. So everything you do in life begins with a relationship. And so Wendi is here with me today. Why? Because there's a relationship somewhere in there. That is a connection in there somewhere in there, because we are part of an amazing community. And here she is today being here. So if you're a woman-owned business and you're looking for that community, you're looking for that exposure, that visibility for your brand, the Mamapreneur Podcast is where it's at, because we don't gatekeep over here. I like to show my ladies off. As of last night, the main show, 115 episodes, got to spotlight 4 different ladies from all over the world doing great things. And today is just going to be that same energy. And you guys, this is an engaging platform. So make sure if you have questions for our guests today, please make sure that you type them in the chat. Engage with us. We don't bite. I promise we don't. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up the amazing Wendi Bergin. She is thebomb.com. And again, I can't wait for you guys to know all about Wendi. Hi, Wendi. Welcome to the Mamapreneur Podcast.
Hi, Robin. Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun, and you just make me feel so good about myself with all your introductions.
As you should. Yes, Wendi, honey, just your energy just on our chat in the pitch room. I was like, man, I want to know. I want to know more.
Aw,
Taylor was kind of giving me your backstory, and I was like, I'm here for it. With this
aw.
platform, it's not the same kind of guest. So I
Mhm,
love mixing it up. I love it
mhm.
when some of like the main show where everyone does something different. Unless it's a
Yeah,
themed show, I like it when everybody does something different. I'm here for
sure.
it always. And
Yeah.
so, of course, we have Wendi. So is it Bergen or Bergen? I want to make sure I'm saying it right.
Yeah, you're doing it right. Bergin.
Bergen. Okay.
Yep.
So joyfully prepared.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am.
talk about it.
Okay. What do you want to know?
Tell me, just I'm a journey girl. So when it
Okay.
comes to business owners, yes, we are here where we are today, but I always like to know, how did we get here?
Sure.
Yes.
So I my focus is on helping, teaching, encouraging, cheerleading women to become more self reliant. That's the word I use. I
Yes.
grew up this way. My story starts before my dad was born, my mom was born. It starts with my grandparents and my grandpa, Leroy Snow.
Hmm.
He kept a journal. And in his journal, he talked about how the church had asked them in 1938 to put up a 2 year supply of food, supplies, anything they needed to last for 2 years. And so he thought, okay. And so he and my great grandma, his mom, They put up 1,800 jars of canned food, and I don't know how long that took them, but there was no air conditioning back there. Let me just say that.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
know, like, just that is amazing. This is what he says in his journal, and he was what they called back then a nurseryman or a landscaper, what we call today, and
Mm,
he talks about how he put up tires and chains and anything he needed to stay in business for 2 years. Well, fast forward to, what is it, 1941, I believe, when the United States entered World War II. And all of our efforts went to support the war effort. All the supplies went to the men overseas. Well, in the United States, families were issued what's called ration stamps. And you
mhm.
could go stand in line to get your milk, your cheese, your bread, whatever. But because my grandparents put up these jars of food, they never needed to use one of their ration stamps, is what he says in his journal.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
I'm just
And
thinking
that,
of the manpower of
yes,
what it took to just to get that going and to keep that going. I can only imagine.
yes. It's a lot of work. I mean, for those of y'all who have done any kind of canning or food preservation, anything like that, it's hard work. It's not like it's simple and satisfying work, but it just takes time. So be able to do all of that is a big deal. And they kept a big garden and whatnot. But so that's where my story really starts. And then my mom, this is my dad's parents, Leroy, and my mom comes from, she's the youngest of nine, and she learned to bake bread and to grow gardens and sew clothes. Her mom sewed all her clothes and everything. And my mom did the same thing for us. We had a huge garden. And dadgummit, if my dad didn't make us get up at 7 o'clock in the morning during the summertime school break and go out there and help mom. And I said, and I said to my mom, I remember being out there, and this is in Virginia, Central Virginia. And for those of y'all who know that area, it's red clay. That's kind of the red dirt, and it just stains everything. And I remember being out in the garden going, I hate this. I hate this so much. I'm never going to have a garden when I grow up.
Here you are. Look
And
at you
here I
now.
am. Yeah, I teach it. So that's just how God works, sometimes comes around and bites you in the butt. But my mom grew the garden and she preserved all the things. And like I said, coined the phrase homesteading, but for us, it was just, that's what life was. It wasn't anything spectacular. That's just what we did. And so as I got older and I got married, I, my first year, my first couple months being married to my husband, we lived up in South Jersey,
Mm,
and I wanted to can tomato sauce and I didn't know how. And he worked for an Italian man, and his wife, she was from Italy, she taught me how to can tomato sauce. And
wow.
that's kind of where it really, even though my mom did all this and I canned my own blackberry jam, I had foraged and picked when I was like 13 or 14. But as I got married, I wanted more of that in my life. And then people wanted to learn. And they're like, how do you do all this? And whatever. And I just love it. I love all the skills of homemaking. I just do.
So another part of your story, you married, 7 kids.
Yes, ma'am.
What did that teach you about resourcefulness beyond what you were raised, how you were raised?
Yeah, that's a great question. My husband is self-employed, and for those of y'all, we know what self-employment means. It's not always the ups. There's a lot of downs.
Yeah.
And so what I learned, one of the things that I teach as well is how to keep a full food storage. And what I mean by that, it's not hoarding food, it's the food that you normally eat. Let's have multiple of that on the shelf stable, ready to go, so you can feed your family at the drop of a hat. Or if you're having a downturn for whatever reason, you can still feed your family. And so what I learned was when we had downs, we would eat the food in our food storage. And I called that rotation. We just rotated through the food. That's what
Yeah.
I coined. Reframe it, right? And when we had the ups, when more money was coming in, then I replenished the food storage, the pantry. And so it was a cycle. And we would have rotation times and then we would have restock times. And I learned how to make bread. One of my stories was um, I was we didn't have any money. Like we had very little money. And I think I had 4 kids on the ground, I call it, and 1 in the oven. I had 4 on the ground, and I was really trying to figure out, and my older 2 daughters were in their starting into teenage years, and so they were eating more. That's just normal, nothing wrong with that. And a friend of mine told me, I said, "I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't keep them fed, whatever." And she said, "Start making whole wheat bread." And so I did. I started making fresh bread, milled my own flour, and made my own bread and fed my children fresh milk. I had canned and jam and everything. And the whole wheat blesses their bodies because number one, it fills them up. It's super healthy and it's not very expensive to make it yourself. And so it
Wow.
saved me a lot of money and it was very, very healthy for the whole family. So learning little things like that and taking advantage, this is one of my favorite things to talk about is when you put your mind, and you know this, Robin, when you are trying to do the best you can and you're trying to be obedient, if you will, and follow God's instructions, He's
Yes,
going to give you opportunities that you wouldn't have gotten, but you have to pay attention and take advantage of it. Don't you think?
I agree 100%. This show
And
wouldn't
that
be here.
there you go. Exactly. And that's what's so cool is that I would one day, this was when I lived in New Jersey. I'm in Florida now, and I had the little children, and a friend of mine had a friend who was a farmer, and South Jersey tomatoes are super yummy. And he called her and he said, "We've had too much rain and the tomatoes aren't good enough to take." And so to the
Oh,
market. And so invite all your friends and just come glean the field. Girl, I was at that field with all my kids in a heartbeat. And I
taking
picked all
stuff.
the Yes, we were all like just putting them in the buckets and bags, whatever I could get. And then I took them home and I made spaghetti sauce. I mean, how that
Oh,
was free food. That was free food.
wow. So what do you preserve now? What are some things that you can, or some things you can tell someone right now they can even start?
Right. Right now is such a great time because it's the end of summer, right? This is when the harvest is happening. You still have tomatoes that are coming on quite, maybe not in Florida because it's too hot. We're getting ready to start growing our tomatoes soon. But up in the north, mid-Atlantic and the north part of the United States, you still have plenty of tomatoes. You have anything like cucumbers that are coming on that you can make pickles with.
Yeah,
You have your squash, you have all these other delicious things. Um, you've got some herbs that are growing too. So all of these kinds of things are very and the other really great thing is that you can food that's been frozen. So if you have a bunch of strawberries in your freezer from strawberry season, or even if you go to the grocery store and buy a big bag from Sam's Club or whatever, you can come home and make strawberry jam from that. It's that simple.
interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. Just it's so interesting. Just even just listening to you when we had
Oh, thank you.
our pitch room discussion, and
Yeah.
just the thought of you being able to do that yourself,
Mhm.
not versus a company.
Yes.
You
And
know,
Robin, right now we're in this really weird phase of our our life. Like not like my life, your life individual, but the food industry is gone cuckoo. I don't know what the heck is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
it's cuckoo. I mean, I don't know if anybody else recognizes, but all this stuff, all this food that's being grown in labs, what? Why are they growing chocolate in labs now? That's not okay. That's
What are
just
you doing
not
to the
okay.
chicken? What are you doing
Right?
to the chicken? I have
Exactly.
questions.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. The eggs, all this stuff. I'm like, why? We don't need anything grown in a lab. Stop it. And
Absolutely.
I'm going to go off just a minute to show you how weird I am. But they want us to eat bugs. Don't eat bugs because bugs have bugs. I'm just going to leave it there for everybody to research.
That's a shirt slogan. That's a joke. So anybody that says anything, I'm like, that's a good shirt slogan. Bugs have bugs. Thank you,
Bugs,
Wendi
yeah,
Bergin. Yes.
you're welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I gift that to you.
Oh my gosh. That is so
Yeah.
funny.
So learning how to take care of yourself is just imperative, just as it was before all this industry with food. It's just as important today as it was ever.
yeah, and I'm seeing more and more people kind of go more holistic,
Mm-hmm.
if you will, as far as they're gluten, not
Yes.
just because you have a gluten allergy. Some
Mm-hmm.
people are going more gluten free
Yeah.
or farm to table, or versus just processed, or going,
Yes.
um I'm seeing more and more people go that route, being more specific on what they're eating today versus just, you ate because that's what you had kind of deal.
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree with you. Mm-hmm. That's true. Um, and we can do that.
Yeah.
We are all smart enough that we can figure this out. And I have mentors. I can be a mentor. We can figure this out. That's why I'm so obsessed or exhilarated. I don't know what the right word is, but I love self-reliance. It's so fun. Learning how to do these things for yourself, it's a form of self-care if you really
Mhm.
think about it. Right? Because if you take the time to learn how to make jam, make it and can it. You're spending time with yourself. Maybe you're in a class. I teach classes on how to do things like this, but you're learning how to do something, and God made us to be creators. And
Yes,
that's what
he
we
did.
do. Yes, He did.
Yes, he did.
Hmm.
Let's talk about, you have a podcast.
Yes, ma'am. I sure do.
Tell the people about it.
Tell the people about it. I just renamed it to Homesteading Made Simple, and you can find it on all the platforms and on YouTube now. And I'm in there just talking about how to make beans. We need to eat more beans. I know that sounds so silly. Let's talk about beans. It's super fun and exciting to talk about beans. But I talk about these types of things and about the mindset of being self reliant. And I recently became a realtor also, and I specialize in helping people find homestead properties and then helping them learn the skills to go along with the properties. And
Oh,
so
I
I'm
love it.
talking about that on my podcast as well. I have just over 230 episodes, I believe.
Okay, I need to catch up.
Oh,
That's what you're telling me.
that's what I'm
Robin,
telling you,
catch
girl.
up to
Robin, catch
Wendi.
up,
Catch
please.
up. Well, I'm almost to you. Almost
You're
there.
doing it, girl. You're halfway.
Halfway there. We're almost there.
You're getting
Congratulations
it.
on that.
Thank you so
As a person
much.
who coaches on podcasting, a lot of people don't make it past, 10 episodes.
Yeah,
But,
it's a lot. You know this. It's a
yeah,
lot. I mean,
it
it's
is.
fun, but you just have to get your systems down. And that sounds like what you're teaching.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So, what's next for Joyfully Prepared?
What's next for Joyfully Prepared? Well, I wanted to go back just quickly and tell you why I call it Joyfully Prepared. I missed that
Sure.
little part of the story when I got
It's okay.
excited about my grandpa. Um, I was a mom with a bunch of little kids, as y'all know, and I was at a play date with some friends and their children. That's what that means. And I was telling them, y'all need to get your food storage and you need to do this because I don't know, the end of the world. Who knows what I was saying? And my one friend looked at me and she goes, "Why are you always so doomsday about everything?" Oh, it took my breath away. I was like, "You didn't just say that to me. I'm fun and joyful." And I went home and I did a lot of reflecting. I honestly did. It changed my life, those words that friend spoke to me. And I became the joyful prepper because of that. And that's why it's joyfully prepared, because
I love
I'm
it.
teaching a different way of thinking about preparedness. Preparedness brings peace. It's not a doomsday activity at all. Me knowing how, had I not learned how to make tomato sauce when I was newly married, and then I got this opportunity to glean the field of tomatoes, I just could step right into it. I just did it. And so these opportunities come to us because we're prepared as well. I I
Yes.
that's a hand to God thing. But and I love it. So as far as what's coming next for me, I'm actually really excited. I'm continuing with my podcast, of course, and I'm a realtor in Central Florida. But I also can help if you're interested in finding a homesteading property outside of Florida. I can help you find a realtor who knows homestead properties. So if you want to reach out to me, you can do that. But what I have coming, and it won't be ready for a couple months, and this is kind of nobody knows about this except for people who are helping me. So you guys get the drop. But I'm creating what I'm calling a homestead history record. So I'm
Okay.
creating that. And this is going to be for sellers who are looking to sell their property, but they need to have everything in order before they can sell it. And it'll make it more sellable for them. And then I'm also creating a buyer's journey um, guide so that you know what kind of homestead you're ready for. Are you ready for the big one, or you just need to start with a windowsill? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you
Yeah.
at? Because you can homestead. In fact, Homesteaders of America just came out with their survey that says that the majority of homesteaders right now are homesteading on less up to 3 acres. Many, a quarter of them, are only under 1 acre. They're on less than an acre
Wow.
homesteading. So, what kind of homestead do you want? And do you know the fact that you can homestead without acreage? That's the best part of it.
Wow. Let everyone know how you can be followed.
I can be found at joyfullyprepared.com. And that's the best way to find me is just at my website, joyfullyprepared.com. My podcast is called Homesteading Made Simple, and that's both on all the platforms and YouTube. And you can find me on Instagram at what is it? Joyful Prepper dot no, just joy at Joyful Prepper. That's it.
Oh, I
I
love
get it
it.
out there
She's
eventually.
like, "What'd you say? I know how to get there. It's
Yeah,
fine." Well,
eventually.
thank you, Wendi, so much for gracing us with your presence, honey. Again, audience, I hope you learned something today from Wendi. Wendi dropped nuggets upon nuggets. This was a great lesson in, hey, preserving your food, all the things, honey. Again, I hope you guys picked up what she put down. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being here with
You're the
us
best.
today.
You're such a lovely hostess. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it
Course.
very, very much.
Anything for you, Wendi, anything for you. And audience,
Oh,
again, if you guys are interested in being a part of the Mamapreneur Podcast, promoting your own business, please get with me directly. Or I'm going to also, when I get a minute, post the Calendly link in the show notes so you guys can take a look, book some time with me to learn more. Make sure you subscribe and share this live with someone. You never know who this live could be a blessing to. And stay tuned. I'm about to interview someone right behind Wendi. So stay tuned and I will see you guys in just a moment. Have a great day.